What's going on, guys? This is Allie, and we're in the Autoali. Today, we're doing something that a lot of you stopped by for. There's one video on my channel that has more hits than I would have ever thought possible. Yeah, the rat rod. Now, after a long hiatus and getting other things done and avoiding working in the garage, we got things cleaned up and it's time. We are going to cut this lower frame off, weld in the extra supports there so we can get this all laid out. And then these pieces are actually part of the frame, so I need those. And then we're going to lay out the two frame rails that we're going to build. This pile of metal should become a frame at some point today, I hope. But we're going to get this cab reinforced enough that it's not going to wobble. And then after we get that done, as we have time, I'm going to try and fix this chop. I mean, whoever did this before, they butchered it. And I don't think the camera even picks up the justice for how bad it's butchered. It's got metal here. It was bad. And then you see that big, huge gap there. So I'm either going to try and just fill this in, use like a copper backer or brass and try and fill this in. Or my other option is cutting a strip and reinforcing it on the inside, which probably is the better option, is just reinforcing it on the inside, even though it won't look as pretty, because there are gaps everywhere. And the goal is for Cindy to get to drive this and the girls to get to drive it. So when I let her go out and drive the rat rod, as much as they're supposed to be sketchy, I kind of want it to be safe. So we're going to look over that.
Who needs safety?
Safe-ish. All right, let's get to work. Out the way. And since this is a frame, and the entirety of the vehicle is built off of it, this has to be set pretty much perfect. I mean, as good as we can get.
Okay.
So we'll start with a layout. So this will be base frame rail. Then you'll have a kick up for an L.
Okay.
Here. This will be the back half of the chassis.
So the car's gonna sit right here.
Or no, that's a 36. I'm sorry. 32.
Okay.
That's there. Then 36 from here, and it's going to Z over like that. What that will do, tape measure. All right. 30, maybe a 6-inch. Measure the depth of that motor, that 350 Chevy.
That one?
Yes, measure the depth of it.
The depth.
I think it's 24.
So like
To the fan.
fan
To the bell housing.
got it. Fan. Oh, like 31 to
32.
32. That would give you right here, I'm guessing.
Yes, but you also have to worry about the Did you measure to the front of the cowl or just the windows?
No, I measured like from here,
All the way up?
from here to here.
Okay. So if it's 31, we'll set this to plates only have 4 inches overlapping. But we can do a fish plate and go with it. All right, we're gonna let you guys go for a minute while we get these frills cleaned up, and then we'll bring you back when we start tacking. But we'll be all right. Just gonna get it all cleaned up with our grinding wheels and whatnot, so it's all good welds. Be right back. Make sure you go right inside this gap right here. Okay? See that crack?
Yeah.
That's where you want to go. You just want to put a tack.
The whole way or just...
A tack, kind of like that.
I feel like a little more wire. Good? Good with that.
You gotta hit it a little bit to tack it. Make sure you're in. There you go. Send it. Not bad. Get a little more on this side of it. Alright, and then this. And then this one here, you're going to want to sink it. Go ahead and wash through your mess. Let me know when you're ready.
Got it.
Okay, so see where my torch is?
Yeah.
That's a good one. See how it's in?
Yeah.
That's what you want. Now right now we could lift this up and this ain't going nowhere. Okay?
Got it.
Alright, now here's what I want you to watch. Get your hand on. Put your hand on the torch. Now look, here's how you get into it. Little two pattern. See how it has a little curl?
Yeah.
That's how you get it. Now you want to tack here on the bottom and tack on that edge. Okay, plug this in so it has batteries. That sounded good. Except you only got one piece. You need to get the other side. Remember, a little bit of a C.
There you go. Ready?
Yep.
Ready? She's beautiful.
Alright. Let's flip this bitch up. Ah, looks like a primer. Feels kind of soft. Holy shit, it looks kind of straight. I'm impressed. I didn't expect that from myself.
From what?
I thought I didn't expect that from myself. Or you for that matter. Okay.
Am I moving it over?
No, I think you're good. Now we're gonna lift this one up. This one's gonna go that way. With 129 and just over 3/4, 129 and just over 3/4. That means right now this frame is square.
Tack it.
Now, you're going to come up here without bumping this frame, because if you bump this frame, it's going to go up cattywampus. You're going to come up here, you're going to tack this side, and then we'll tack the other side, and then we'll measure again. Send it. This one. Slide it down in. Houston, we have a problem. So Kenzie and I were following along. Everything was pre-cut. I thought it was all good. It wasn't. So I got the front done. And I actually have a little too much length here. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. I really wanted to extend this for my legs. So I may like put a rounded firewall and just leave that little extra length. And I could even extend the back just a little bit out if I need to. But as everybody can see, the bed is too dang tall. So these rails need to drop. And I'm thinking they need to drop 3 inches. Okay. I'm thinking 3 inches. But we're going to have to cut out the butt welds, or cut out the spot welds. Pull this bed off, cut the welds, move things around, and then try and re-weld it and get it square again. But that's just way too high. I don't like it. Actually, I think it needs to go more than that, because I'd like for this to be around the style line. So let's see. What do we think? It's 7 inches? 7.5? No. I don't want it that high. I think we need to come down to 8.25. I think we need to take 8.25 out of these, which would be a lot. I think these are 15. Yeah, we're cutting like half of it out. But hey, it is what it is. This is way too high as it is, and we're gonna have to fix it. So we'll get this bed back off when Kenzie gets back out here. I'll mark this out. We're gonna have to do what we gotta do. Alright guys, so we're done with the planning stages. We kind of got everything laid out. We got the frame tack welded. Tomorrow we're going to bring in the axles front and rear. I can start figuring out how this is all going to work. I don't think I have tires for those axles yet. So I'm going to have to look and see. I know I have an 8-inch Mustang rear end, but it's a 4-bolt. So I might use it just to get going and then maybe find 5-bolt axles. But I have two separate setups, like the one rear end's, I think, older Chevy. I think the front end's old Dodge maybe. But we're going to get the straight axle in. We'll get the rear end in. We'll look at it, see how wide they are, and figure out if they're going to work or if we're going to figure something else out. Until tomorrow. Here for day 2. First we're going to get these axles out so I can see what I have to work with, because I don't even know how long they are. They just all came with the truck. So we'll have to figure that out. Get those pulled out, get them set up here. See what we can work with. Front axle is a lot shorter than that rear. Let's go. I have a 8-inch over here I'm going to try and grab. All right. After much ado, I think that Mustang rear end will go perfect with that straight axle front end. I think this is just way too wide. I don't even know what this is. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like a 12-bolt. This might actually be a GM 12-bolt. Which might make it worth something to somebody. Probably not me. All right, so we still need to do about 1 million measurements, but that 8-inch Mustang axle fits dang near perfectly, even with these funky looking wheels. The only downside is this is a 4-bolt axle, so I'll have to get 5-bolt axles for it so that we can run a standard 4x5.5 or 4x4.5 bolt pattern. And then this front axle is actually 6-bolt, so I'll have to get different spindles. But I'm thinking that this is going to go kind of like that. We'll do cantilever front. So we'll use that as a pivot point, bolt to here on each side. We'll do airbags on the outer edges so it lifts up and down. And it looks like this will actually drag frame in the front. In the back, sitting on the axle, I am about an inch off the ground. Now, part of me says I'll C-notch this frame and get it back to dragging frame. The other part of me says the headers that I'm putting on this thing are probably a little bit bigger. I think they're 4-inch instead of the 3-inch on the frame. So I might need that extra inch so that I don't drag the headers on the ground. Or headers will be the low point and it'll drag header. One step at a time, we'll figure it out, but this is pretty cool. So life kind of got sidetracked. I had to help Mom with some stuff out front, so I didn't get much more done. I pulled out this 2x2 angle iron, which I think will work great for rockers, but this isn't long enough. I actually need about 4 or 5 more inches.
Okay, insert rod support A into slot B.
That's
And
what...
if you say that's what she said one more time, I'm gonna pop you.
So I'm going to see if I can find another angle. I may have some here, but I didn't go out and look. But I'll check later. I was starting to figure out how a triangulated 4-link would work in here. I think that's what I'm going to go with, is triangulated, because I do want to air ride this. So we'll have to figure out all the geometrics on that, because this is a first for me. I mean, this is my first ever frame that I've built. This will be my first ever from scratch suspension. It's going to be a lot of firsts, and let's hope some of them work out. So yeah, we're going to find some more of this 2x2. Go from there. I started piecing out how the frame would sit, and the side pipe should tuck in a little more because the transmission goes back further. It's kind of sitting up right now because of a tube. But that's about where the headers are going to go. And obviously they'll have a little bit of angle, but not much. But it looks like they'll tuck right underneath this. And that's my hope. I figure we'll spin these a little bit, point them towards the ground if we want. But that's the plan. So when you're out cruising, you're going to have that barking in your ear. It's going to be so freaking cool. But for today, guys, I am about exhausted. It's been 2 days of craziness. I sung poles for a little fence out front for Mom. I don't know if you can see them, but they're out there. So we got that done. I'll dig for more metal, or I'll buy some for next weekend. Tomorrow's Memorial Day, so you're probably going to be watching this on Memorial Day. And remember those who, gave everything for us. Until the next one, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on the flip side.